Yeah, hello everyone. Welcome to our weekly market outlook class where we'll be reviewing basically market opportunities for the week and potential trade opportunities that we can look to basically take advantage of. So to begin, as usual, we'll look at our forex calendar, right? And see red news events, high fundamental news events that could or will affect the markets going into the week. Okay, so today is Monday, November 27th. And the week is from Monday, November 27th to Friday, December 1st. Okay. So that being said, today is Monday. There's no red news today. It's just we're going to have medium impact news from the euro and also from the dollar. So not much. The weeks begin to kick in from Wednesday, although there's a high impact news on Tuesday. That's the CV consumer confidence by 4 p.m. But from Wednesday, we have the real red news day. So the Wednesday is going to be quite significant because we'll be seeing lots of movement, I feel, in the markets because of high impact news. So the Aussie would be releasing their CPI reports. The NZD would also be releasing their official cash statement. Is expected to stay at 5.5. I don't think we'd see so much discrepancy with that. It probably should come out at 5.5. But if it comes out higher, then the NZD would be one very interesting one to watch. I've been trading NZDCAD longs for a few weeks now, and it's been delivering quite nicely. We'll review that in a bit. And then we also have the GDP, the Plarian GDP from the USD and also the Spanish flash CPI. Okay, so pay attention to this high impact news. Remember, personally, I don't trade the news. Okay, but I pay attention to high impact news when they are coming up, so that I don't get trapped in the wrong side of liquidity. So I stay away from the market specifically at those times. But if you have a system that allows you to trade the news and you think it works for you, well, good and fine. Personally, I don't. I just pay attention to it so that I can figure out when to stay away from the market or to close some of my profits. Okay. Now, we're going to begin by looking at the DXY, actually. So the DXY is the dollar index, and it measures the strength of the dollar against the major baskets. Now, you'd see, so basically, the relation between the DXY is, if the DXY is pushing higher, is bullish, you'd see the dollar also be bullish. And if the DXY is bearish, you see the dollar begin to fall in like manner. Okay, so you notice the trend or the movement of the DXY, you'd see that, yeah, for a long time we had this dollar weakness, and then for the past few months, from July till around October, the dollar has been extremely strong. So you saw, dollar strengthening aggressively, and that's why if you look at USDCHF around that period, you'd see big move. If you look at GBPUSD around that period, you see big drop, because in GBPUSD, the dollar is the quote currency. So a strengthening dollar would cause the price of GBPUSD to drop. Same thing for Euro USD. And then also same thing for USDJPY. So the dollar pairs has been relatively bullish for some months, and then we began to basically redistribute, or we began to range, and then what you notice is price began to fall. So you notice that the dollar is weakening against some of the major pairs. Now, the USDJPY is still very much looking quite strong, but like, for example, EU, GU, USDCHF, I think USDCAD as well, they've all been showing relative dollar weakness. Okay, so and in one of our last classes where I made mention of the, basically GBPUSD, I said more GBPUSD and Euro USD are looking bullish, but I like the setup of GBPUSD than Euro USD simply because of the way it is delivering. Okay, so if you look at, okay, let me just get the first chart here. So GBPUSD. So if we look at GBPUSD over the past few weeks, right? So let's delete all of this. We look at GBPUSD over the past few weeks. I made mention of this, that surprise, we first had our break of structure here, like so, where price broke above this high. Let's make this a little thicker. Okay, so we had our BOS here. So price essentially did this. It made a high, so a lower low. Okay, so a lower high, so a lower low, basically to a lower high, so lower low, so lower high. So just kept making lower lows and lower high. This was the most recent low, and this was the most recent high. And price came down here and broke below that low. So the bearishness was intact here, but with this break here, this was the first time price broke bullish on the daily time frame. Even on the 4-hour time frame, this break here was the first break on the to the upside. Okay, and at the time I made mention of the fact that we could see previous SND areas here begin to hold, and if price takes out this high, then we'll probably begin to see price move higher, and that was exactly what we've seen so far. Price came down here. We had some sort of Wyckoff schematic play out here, and then price came back and took out this high. And some of you would know that I've been very bullish on GU all through this period, since early November to like late October. All I've been looking for is the buys on GU, and it's been delivering quite nicely. Last week I also had some trades sent out from this area here where price took some trade here that it's beginning to move. Now, currently, what do you think I'm thinking? Well, this market is bullish. It has established itself as being bullish. We have broken up multiple times. So if you look at that, so we've had multiple breaks to the upside. Yeah, there's no new break. Yeah, so we've had multiple breaks to the upside, and price is looking quite strong. Now, if we look at the weekly time frame here, let's just to get our perspective, what do you see? From this low here, price began to push higher, making higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. Basically, this is the higher high, and then a higher low and a new higher high. So at this point, we made a lower low, right? But because price is basically making higher highs and higher lows, we assume reaccumulation. We assume that price is just, so many times you think that the trend moves like this: higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. That's basically what we assume trends to move. But if you put into consideration Elliott wave theorem, so Elliott wave theorem saying that a market that is bullish, right? So let me just draw. So Elliott wave theorem is stating that a market that is bullish, right, making higher highs and higher lows and higher highs and higher lows, at some point you might find that market pull back and make a lower low, but it doesn't change the overall direction of the markets, only for this to continue to push high, right? So this move here that appears to have broken the structure does not necessarily mean that we're now in a shift of markets. That is the same reason why so let me remove this. It's kind of the same reason why, even though GBPUSD, so let me go back to the daily time frame here, even though GBPUSD we had a breakout like this, I wasn't very, very, very keen on looking for the buys. I was looking for the buys, but I wanted to see this break. It was after this break that I now began to really get involved in the buy position, because then we've seen the trend set itself up. Because a bearish market this could still be a bearish market. Just because it broke this high doesn't necessarily change the overall structure. The only time the bears would have a say is if, well, when it breaks structure like this, it follows it up with another break. Then we can now, with some sort of confidence, begin to look for the buys. It's the reason why you have things like head and shoulder patterns. It's the reason why when they walk, it's not because of the pattern, it's because of what price is actually doing. Okay, so in the same context, on the weekly time frame, price was bullish. Yes, we broke down bearish, but if anything, price still wants to come up and take this liquidity, because the predominant direction of the market is still bullish, which is why I actually like GBPUSD longs. Okay, so just now before we started the class, I showed you I just got triggered in on this trade, on this GBPUSD trade. I'll show you exactly what my trade looks like. You saw that, although before I started recording, this was where the entry was like, I had a buy stop just above that high. I got triggered in, and we'll see how this one runs. So this trade is one that I am currently, I think this is my first trade for the week already. If it goes to loss, that's fine. If it goes to target, but also fine. It doesn't matter. So I'm going after 1:4 here. And yeah, so I'm very comfortable with this trade. Price is moving bullish. Structure of the market is bullish. I like this range, and we broke above the range, and I'm good to take the trade there. Okay, so let me just quickly cross check for my MT4. My MT4. Yeah, so I am triggered on that trade. Yeah, I'm triggered on that trade. It's yep. Okay, so that's 6 lots. So we'll see how that one moves. Okay, now let's proceed. GBPUSD, I'm looking for the buys on this one already. You already see I'm already in the trade, and I'm looking to see how that one plays out. Okay, now let's proceed to Euro USD. Okay, so GBPUSD is good now because this is weekly market analysis. So what is the anticipation for the week? Okay, so essentially, so this is the daily time frame now. What I'm looking for is either price just continues to stretch higher, or we get some sort of pullback. And then if we get that pullback, I'm still going to be looking for confirmation to buy and then take price upward. So on GBPUSD, all I'm looking for is buy opportunity. That's all I'm looking for, opportunities to buy. That's it, okay? Now let's go over to the next one that I want to talk about. Let's look at NZDCAD, okay? So NZDCAD, for a couple of months, I think it's back in August, I had a class where I mentioned the potential Wyckoff accumulation schematic that was occurring here. I think it was on the 4-hour time frame. I labeled it out for you guys in the class 10. And I said, well, this is essentially, you'd see it clearer on the weekly time frame. The market is bullish on the weekly time frame. We just broke bullish here on the weekly time frame. And so I'm expecting a sustenance of this big push upward. It's more like impulse. So this impulsive move upward is being corrected with all of this, right? And then price came back into a leftover SND area and is pushing away. So before we began to have this push away, price began to accumulate in terms of the Wyckoff accumulation schematics, where we had our selling climbers, right? Preliminary support, our selling climbers, our automatic rally, ST. We have, the clear of that ST. We had a spring, price broke up, sign of strength, and then we began to move. So this kind of schematic was what we had here. So let me show you what we could see clearly here on the 4-hour time frame, right? And as it was happening, so we had this whole move here, right, where price began to accumulate, right? We came down here, so let me shift this a little bit. We came down here and cleared out liquidity that was resting below here, and this low here became the catalyst for this break upward here. So this was our SOS, that's our sign of strength. And at the time I said, well, right now I anticipate that price would either, one, just keep going, or two, come back, tap into one of these SNDs and keep going. Price came here, we had, it reacted here, but then it failed, got down here, reacted, then it failed, and then it got down to the last possible area, and then it began to push up. So you'd see that I had a trade here, it went my way, I took partial, and then it came back like this. So I had multiple positions within here, which I shared with you guys in class. For those of you who joined, I think it should be on the cutting edge training room class that we had, okay? And I'm still bullish on NZDCAD going forward. Now, NZDCAD is on the weekly time frame. I think this is where price wants to come, right? This would be what I'll call my liquidity targets, right? So on the weekly time frame, I think that's where market wants to get to, okay? However, it doesn't mean that we'll just buy here and just hold on to the trade forever. We'll have to find a way or a reason, a way to manage ourselves in our trade in line with that particular trade bias. So this is where we now start to use multiple time frame analysis. So we have the understanding of where we think price wants to head on the higher time frame. We can now begin to come down within time frame to find good entry areas and good management spot areas. Okay, so if we drop down to maybe the 4-hour, and we ask ourselves, what's the context of the market now? It's still bullish. It's still making higher highs, higher lows. Okay, drop down to the 1 hour here. Basically we are all over the place. We're bullish, then we're okay, still bullish relatively, right? So let me just see this. It's still bullish relatively from this side. So the slow pulling back. So relatively we're bullish all through on this one. And yeah, I actually like the setup of this. Okay, so let's just see. Let's delete this for now. Yeah, I took 2 trades here that I ended up with losses. It's fine, it's part of the game. Yeah. Okay, so I think I can drop down even further the 15-minute chart and see what that looks like. Okay, so on NZDCAD, long term, I'm looking for bullishness. I'm looking for price to continue to push higher. Short term, I'm still looking for that bullishness to continue. The 4-hour is showing bullish strength. The 1 hour is showing bullish strength. Even the 15 minutes is showing bullish strength. So it basically is looking quite solid. It's now about getting into good entry, based on your own entry setups, looking for confirmation to buy. So based on what we are or where we are now, this might be a trade you might consider looking to take. So from where price is, let's see, we just took out this high. So from where price is, you might look to do something like this, right? So it's now, you might look to do something like this where you protect below this low, and then obviously you go after the RR that you go after based on your system. So let's say a 1:2, for instance, right? This would be not a bad trade to take. You might have a buy stop just above this high. Okay. Now, alternatively, what you can do is just follow the just track the SNDs, the leftover imbalances. So you can see here that we have an imbalance here, like so. Okay, and you might just allow price to maybe drop into this area and then look for confirmation within this area. So confirmation can be candlestick setups, it can be break of structure on, let's say, the 5-minute chart. Let's say it comes in here, you now look for structural shifts. And then look to trade that. You can put your stop loss just below this low and maybe go after this high or higher. Okay. Yeah, so NZDCAD, I like the idea of looking for buys on this one, and I'm going to look to get involved in a trade. So right now I'm not placing a buy stop here. I'll just allow price to do its thing, and then if we get into this zone here, I'll look for potential buy opportunities on NZDCAD. Okay, so let's push up. Let's go further and let's look at gold. So gold, I've been bullish on gold since what, down here. Yeah, I've been bullish on gold since down here. I mentioned, I think you can also see some of those classes on my YouTube channel so as well. When price was way down here, and I mentioned this weekly SND that I think price wants to tap from. And if you see, I have this area here as well, my liquidity target. This is where I think price wants to come back. So it's lined up perfectly, and it's been beautiful. It's been delivering quite nicely. I still have some trades running that I still have open from around here. Some trades from around here. I had some that I took here, ended up closing them for a loss. Some of them for break even. Some of them took first partial, and then it took me out. But right here, right now, I'm still looking for buys on this one. I know many people are looking at this and saying, at the time when price was here, I said price wants, this is the target I think price wants to take out. And sure enough, you see price has done that. I didn't take a trade from here nonetheless. But a lot of people would have been looking at this area and been looking at, oh, this is a double top. Price is going to reject this strong resistance and come back. But you're already seeing the market show its hand that it wants to be bullish. So you're better off trading in the direction of the trend. You want to swim in the direction of the current, and the current is showing you bullishness, like real strong bullishness. And that's all that really, really matters here. Okay. So on XAUUSD, well, I like this one is quite straightforward. I like the idea of looking for buys. I'm going to go down within time frame and see if I can find potential trade opportunity. I had a trade here. I didn't get triggered in. It didn't trigger me in because I wanted to buy stock through that area, but I didn't get a trade. So that's fine. I had a loss here, which is okay, which is good. Yeah, I had some good wins within here. I didn't trade most of this. I was on leave, so I just took time to be with the family. But right here, right now, what I can see is still strong bullishness. Price making this impulsive move to the upside. So, yeah, what could we do? One of two things. Allow price to either come back down here. Okay, so either watch for a pullback into this area, although I don't think we'll get that pullback. I don't think we'll probably will get that pullback. Rather, I'll probably wait for a breakout of this high. So if you break this high, you can, use that as a buy and then maybe protect yourself either below this low or just below this low, depending on how aggressive or conservative you are. But a buy through this high looks quite good. As long as price does not come. If price comes back down here, then obviously you don't want to hold that price stop. But otherwise, a buy through this high sounds quite logical. And then you can protect yourself below this low, go after like 1:2 or 1:3, or look to manage it based on your own trade rules, or your own trading rules. Okay. So EU, that's GU. EU, very similar to gold, very similar to GU. If I show you the daily chart for EU, at the time, so this was where EU needed to break higher. This is the area it needed to break above to be bullish, and it just did with this big candle here. So EU now has shifted bullish, right? It has now shifted bullish once, okay? And then if we break above this high, it will also be the shift twice. So dollar is looking quite vulnerable against most pairs. And just simply looking at this, so similar to GBPUSD, if you look at the 1 week charts, right, you'd see that it's still that sort of, so let me hide all of this so you can see the charts quite clearly. So it's still that same sort of price movement where the market was bearish, right, all through bearish, and then we shifted bullish with this break here. Okay, so we shifted bullish. So price now began to make a low to a high, to a higher low, to a higher high, to a higher low, to a higher high. And then it came down and made a lower low, right? Now, but if we go back to what I told you with regards to Elliott wave, so remember Elliott wave saying we can have a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we can have a pullback 1, 2, 3 that takes down this area, but it doesn't necessarily change the overall structure, because then this could now be the next leg upward. So this corrective wave here that broke price down is not necessarily bearish. It doesn't necessarily make the market bearish, at least on the long term, on this long-term basis, because this here is now, in my opinion, where price wants to head. Okay, so why a lot of people are looking for SND areas to sell or sell within this area, because we understand the predominant structure of the trend. We understand that we are possibly reaccumulating here to then take price further. So essentially, just like GU, just like gold, I'm looking for those movements to take price higher. So on the 15-minute time frame, on the 1 hour time frame, what I'm looking for on these pairs are buy opportunities. So if we go back again to our lower time frame, yeah, so 1 hour time frame here, you see basically we've broken up. We have this impulsive move. You can also look to trade, you can just set chart alarms. I think I'm just going to do that. I'm just going to have a chart alarm just here, so that if we get a break above this high, I'll probably look to trade that. It's also, it's also not out of place to maybe look to, trade through something like this. Remember, this is not investment advice. Trading always carries risk, so be very, very clear with regards to that. But this is something that I would look to consider doing. Okay, so EU, GU, gold, looking for buys. NZDCAD, looking for buys. USDJPY. So USDJPY is one where it has been bullish for the longest of times. And I'm still expecting price to continue to hold on to that bullishness, but I'm no longer actively looking for trade opportunity, because I still feel this target here, this blue line here is where I think price wants to get. How to get there now, I don't know, right? By the what I mean is it could either go and take it out now, or we could maybe, retrace and then take it out. Okay, so UJ, I'm limiting myself on trading UJ for now, because I don't want, right now it's looking quite bearish on this lower time frame. although I understand that on the higher time frame, we are trying to take out this high. So it's conflicting opinions. And so I would rather look for a market that seems cleaner in my eyes. Okay. Yeah, so that's UJ, EU. Let's look at NZDUSD. Let's see what we can spot. Just going to delete all of this. So NZDUSD. NZDUSD still looks bearish to me. Okay, not very clean, so I'm going to stay away from this one. USDCHF. Yeah, just like I said, bearish. Bearish. Yeah, bearish. Probably coming down to take out the slow. So yeah, we can begin. Let's drop down, see if we can spot opportunity. Let's look at the 4-hour time frame. Just going to, let's delete all of this. So the 4-hour is looking quite bearish. Okay, so what do we have here? So we broke highs that appear to be redistribution. We broke low, and we're still holding the low. Yeah, I think this one, if I'm going to do anything here, it's just going to try and look for sell opportunity on the 15-minute time frame, just sell opportunity. So somewhere like this, if price were to come up this area like this, look to sell, with confirmation, obviously, look to sell with confirmation, stop loss just above this high, and then look to go after the lows. Okay, so use USDCHF. Yeah, I'm still looking for sales. Okay, USDCAD 1 day. Too choppy, just going to stay away from this one. GBPJPY. Why is my chat frozen? Can you guys hear me? Chat appears to be frozen. Can you guys hear me? Yeah, GBPJPY is looking clearly bullish. Yeah, there's some very lovely trades to take here. I just wasn't looking at this stuff. I traded this for a while. It looks clean, like clean. Just going to put an alarm just above here. Okay, so yeah, I think that's those are some of the pairs that for the week, and how we'll probably look to trade them. It's been some beautiful trades here. Some very beautiful trades here. Okay. Yeah. So something like this, right? So something like this is kind of similar to what I was referring to you on GU and EU, where you have a market that is bullish, right? It's showing you bullishness, keeps making higher highs and higher lows and higher highs, right? And then all of a sudden it makes a lower low. Now, this is a break of structure, as you can see here. However, if it has done something like this and broken down again, then this would be a stronger break. And that was why you see that right here, I was this potential reaccumulation. That it means, yes, we've broken down, but chances are price is still bullish and it's just reaccumulating, just to come back and take out that high. So this high, right? So we've not taken out the high yet, but my bet is this is what price is going to just take out this high and continue moving. Okay, so a GBP CAD, unfortunately, I never took any trade. I think I took one trade here, but I never really take advantage of this move. But it's fine. GBP CAD is heading toward this high side. I can almost assure you that. Okay. So that's, I think that's about it. Those are some of the trades to look out for the week. GBP CAD, you can actually watch for potential buying opportunities because the market is clean. Unless you're on the 15 minutes or the 30 minutes or the 1 hour charts, you can look for setups that meet your criteria to the bullish side. Remember, you only want to look for buying opportunities on the pairs, on this pair now, because we are anticipating that the trend is bullish and want to trade in the direction of that trend. Okay, so that's our session for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the class, and I hope you grab some core source from the class. And we'll be looking to have you in our next session. So we should have a class, our cutting edge class for funded clients tomorrow. So I'm hoping to have you guys on board. So till then, have a wonderful day and stay safe. And remember to always trade with proper risk management.